Hey guys, it's GT here, and you're going to want to buckle up for this one because it promises to be gripping. Michael McDonald, the co-author of the new book, The Silver Bomb, Beyond the Return of Metal as Money, is on the line. Michael, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Sean.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you, especially when we see what the cartel is doing to the precious metals markets, the paper markets. Now, Michael, I just want to set the stage for this intelligent, informed audience before we dive in. Here's why I think this is such an important book. Good, honest people in this country are being absolutely, endlessly, and viciously targeted by the criminal banksters through a variety of means. A rigged stock market, high-frequency trading, mortgage fraud, the MERS system, mortgage-backed securities, CDOs, and the derivative cesspool, and, of course, by the highly fraudulent and manipulated precious metals markets. So, for you good people listening right now who have purchased physical silver already and feel horrified by what's been going on in the paper silver market over the past year plus, this interview is for you. Michael is here to tell you the silver bomb is about to explode. I want to dive right into the payoff. Chapter 12 of your book is titled, Pace Yourself. You're in this for the long haul. And Michael, I want to read this one passage, and then I want you to run with this. Quote, "This moment in history, which we will see the manifestation of the silver bomb, is the sum total of all of the years, all of the days, and all of the trades ever made. It is like becoming aware of the seeping cracks appearing in the face of a dam just before it bursts. The entire premise of this book is that the world, particularly the Western world, stands at the edge of the change of an epoch. It will also include events that have no prior precedent and will never happen again." Michael, what we're talking about here is the opportunity of a lifetime. And I know it's been an opportunity fraught with challenges and peril, and a lot of people who bought at 45 are feeling a lot of pain. But this is important. Take it from there.
Oh, yes. A very exciting time in history to be witnessing and a part of, and it can be very scary at the same time. I mean, epic change. Subtle change is pretty scary for people to begin with on any level, but we're talking about epic change. This is worldwide change that we're talking about, paradigm shift in thinking in the way that we operate and live our lives. So, when we're looking at the markets right now, and you're talking in talking about the book and the corruption from left and right, we are in not only a debt bubble, but we're in a corruption bubble. And as we know, all bubbles pop, and this bubble is popping at this very moment. It's been a slow motion train wreck, as it's been described many times, but it's popping. With the banker resignations and the exposure via the internet and wonderful shows such as your own that exposes and educates the masses on what's happening. But we're having a mass awakening. Across the globe of the corruption that's going on. And it's a time to, get ahead of the trend all through history. The Great Depression was the time of where many, many people lost a lot. Some people lost everything they had. But it was also a time in history where more millionaires were made during that time. So there was a certain group of people that were ahead of that trend. They saw the trend and they positioned themselves accordingly. Now, we have the same opportunity right now. If you see the trend, and the writing's clearly on the wall, there is no way out of this. It's a mathematical problem right now. Mathematically, it's impossible to pay off this debt that's been created, not only in the U.S., but globally. So there is major defaults coming down the pike. It's just a matter of when. And the dam is starting to crack right now. But if you position yourself accordingly, you are going to be the new wealthy. Silver, as you've talked and highlighted and pointed out with many guests, that silver's manipulation is so prevalent and deep that an upward explosion is imminent. It's just a matter of time. So load up. And the silver price is being smashed today, big time. But it's just a buying opportunity, and you better load up before there's no inventory left to buy. It could go down to $5 an ounce, but there will be no silver to buy at $5 an ounce that you can hold in your hand.
Yeah, that's right. And, we're going to jump around your book here a bit. I want to take my hat off to Brother John, who has covered your book in some detail on his website. First, I want to make it clear to everybody, I'm not selling this book, although I encourage people to run out and buy it. I know that people can buy it from Brother John's website. Where else can they get this book, Michael?
The book is available on Amazon.com, paperback and Kindle. Also, you can find and read a free preview of it on the silverbomb.com. But in short, what Christopher and I did with this book was really try to pull together what we called a Cliff Notes version of everything financial, from the beginning of the history of money to the players and the games that are being involved, the cancer in the system and the coming cure, but also highlighting the opportunity and how to position yourself to benefit. You probably have neighbors, family, and friends, such as I do, that are asleep. They don't have their eyes open. They're watching their American Idol, whatever they're doing. They're not seeing the big transformation that's happening globally. So that's why we really put together this book, is it's a quick, easy, concise read to let people know, hey, this is what's happening, this is how we got here, and these are solutions to help coming through the coming crisis.
Well, that's right. Let me jump back in, because here's what's important about it. This book is also extremely comprehensive. This is not just a fly-by-night book that somebody, you're saying it's Cliff Notes, and I appreciate that. I feel like that's a little self-deprecating. This book is actually quite comprehensive and quantifiable. You're quoting the best experts, you're offering footnotes, you're offering quotes. I just want to get back to this manipulation real quickly, because we're seeing it in the markets again. We've seen it all year in the paper markets. In Chapter 8, the world's whitest metal is where the real fortunes will be made. You write, quote, "This moment will likely never happen again, and it's destined to be the creation of some of the greatest fortunes ever imagined. These will be fortunes of substance, representing tangible wealth that is not tied to the whims of a controlling system of central banks." And then you go on to say on page 133, "The manipulation of the silver market has been behind the scenes throughout the history of central banking in the U.S., including recently surfacing evidence of banker collusion to manipulate silver. While market manipulation has been going on since there were markets, this practice has now gotten so out of hand that the news of it has leaked out into public view." I highlighted that quote, Michael, because I think it's so critical, and what others who want to criticize the Mike Maloneys of the world and the James Turks of the world don't share with their audience when they offer those criticisms up is they do not tell that manipulation story. They say they don't believe it. They say it's conspiracy theory. They say it's nonsense. It's just a market. These are the whims of the market. None of that could be farther from the truth. These cartel bankers are targeting silver and gold, as you note in your book, on purpose, and as Andrew Maguire has said, pointed the finger directly at the arm of the Fed, J.P. Morgan themselves, is tasked with doing so. Can you please help people understand that the pain they're feeling, the criminals they should be mad at for that pain, are the banksters, but those same banksters are offering a heck of an opportunity to get silver cheaper moving forward, aren't they?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I mean, for those that missed the boat so far on silver, you should be almost thanking the corrupt bankers for giving us another sale day on silver. And again, I want to reiterate this, that there is not a lot of silver out there. I also have a company called Wholesale Gold Group, so we're a national precious metal dealer, but I'm looking at inventories. I work with the three largest distributors in the nation, and looking at their inventory sheets, I am blown away by quantities of silver available across the board. I talk to clients and say, well, I think I'm going to wait till it hits 25. And I go, well, yeah, you can do that, but there may not be any inventory to buy at $25 an ounce. Heck, I was buying silver personally at $48. So I cost average. I buy on most of the dips.
Yeah, me too. I was buying in the 40s as well. So we're all feeling the heat here on this thing.
Right. So where silver is going to go ultimately, it's not, and where the world economy is going ultimately, it doesn't matter if you buy gold or silver at $48 or if you buy it at $20, because this is what's going to happen. We're going to see a collapse of the financial system as we know it, and there's going to be a lot of money seeking a home in safety, whether that be real estate, whether that be rice, energy, just a small portion of the amount of paper currencies that have been created, just a fraction of that, say even 2% or less of that money going into gold and silver is going to be like pushing, and this isn't my quote, it's like pushing, and I can't remember who said it, but it's like pushing the contents of Hoover Dam through a garden hose. But anyways, back to your statement about the manipulation in the markets. Well, first of all, this is clearly provable, and it has been proven that the market is manipulated. It's not a question if they're manipulated. It's the question of exactly how it's being done and why. The real question is why aren't the regulators doing their job regulating? Talking about the CFTC and SEC and so on and so forth. So those that just kind of slough it off as conspiracy theory are either I'm sorry to say, ignorant and perhaps lazy to investigate, or they have an agenda to say so. Because it is black and white. There's really no shades of gray there.
No, you're right, and I want to talk more about the manipulation, but I think what's important for people to understand, and you hit on it a minute ago, is the fact that this system, is collapsing and there is so much criminal manipulation within the system. The whole system is essentially stacked against the people and for the banks at this point, and that includes government bailouts, et cetera, which you touch on in your book. But I want to talk briefly about Chapter 7 here. You wrote, the name of the chapter is What Happens When the Great Correction Comes? Which way will it go from here, and what you must do now, no matter what? You write here on page 121, what is not avoidable is the inescapable end of the U.S. dollar-dominated, empty paper fiat currency world. The temporary illusion of relief bought with more deficit spending through more money printing, or more accurately through more electronic currency expansion, will cease to be possible as the world will no longer buy the debt for sale in the form of negative yield U.S. T-bills. This is the paradigm that's ending, right before our eyes, isn't it? Even as we see silver get attacked and plummet $1 or $2 or $3 a day down to new lows for the year, the rest of this paper market is also crumbling. Right? The paradigm is about to end, and that's what makes it so difficult for people to get their arms around, is that as the paper paradigm ends, we see this precious physical asset get punished as well, but only in paper form.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's currently ending. I mean, we're monetizing our debt. We're, before long, we're going to be buying all of our own T-bills. So we're seeing the dam cracking as we speak, and it's just a matter of time. So as far as getting prepared and ahead of the trend, it's I hate to say it, but it's almost getting. We're in the ninth inning, friends. If you're not prepared, and I'm sure your audience is on top of it. You have an educated, awake audience, and this book, The Silver Bomb, there may be some new insights and new keys and information for them, but it's a great tool for them to hand to their father or their brother or their neighbor.
It is. It is. And you even write on page 125, quote, the sheep led to slaughter who, for whatever reason, can't wake up to the truth will see hard times. Those who position themselves to take advantage of the monumental trend we are now coming into will prosper. This book might help wake some of those people up. Now, most people are incapable of waking up. I get that. They're stuck in the matrix, in this false broken paradigm, and they can't wake up until the end comes. We know that. But for every 100 people that can't wake up, there is another one that can, and I think this book can really help.
Oh yeah, I mean we've already seen it. We've gotten great feedback from people that have read the book, and the light switched on. One of the drivers for me and Christopher to get this book started was, I was one of those guys that would, listen to a YouTube video and go, oh my God, the world is falling. And then I'd forward it on to my list of emails, my father being one of them. And so I'd go to Zero Hedge and I'd find this article, and I was just emailing articles, and finally my dad emailed me back and he goes, great, son, what are you going to do about it? and so that was the driving factor to start this book was, okay, I can just forward on emails all day long, but that's not really waking people up. People would start skipping over my emails, going, oh, here's Michael with his doom and gloom. Come on, come have some fun with us, kiddo. A lot of them thinking that I need some professional help. So that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna put all of this research that I've received from all the great people, from James Turk, Butler, on and on and on. Just kind of connected the dots, put it together in one resourceful place, and yes, it is. To my delight, people are waking up because of this book. So I thank my father for challenging me on that.
Yeah, well, the trick, too, is to get the sheeple, or those who cannot wake up and do not want to wake up, to read the book. So you've written a great book. The trick is for people to actually take the time to read it. You write in the book, back here on page 175, now is the time. It is time to buy physical precious metal and actually hold it in your possession. All markets are currently rigged and subject to wild volatility due to massive manipulation. These manipulated fluctuations are all based on the exertions of a central banking cartel whose goal it is to hide the truth and perpetuate the paper dollar fraud for as long as possible.
Thanks for watching Part 1. Don't miss Part 2, and be sure to visit sgtreport.com for all of my original content and the most important daily news. Thanks for watching.